Merry meet, I am a witch with opinions, opinions and more opinions. There's been some interesting videos going on the last couple of weeks and I have loved watching them. And there have been several discussions that have been going around that I have like a sweet but short, not so sweet necessarily, but definitely short opinion on. I didn't want to do full-fledged videos about them because it's really nothing that I felt like I wanted to devote an entire video to and expect someone to watch the whole video. But I get a lot of emails from people who will send me an email because they've seen a discussion that's going on to ask me what my thoughts are on it. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to share that came out of this last couple of weeks. I appreciate the fact that some of you reach out to me at that level. I really feel blessed that the comfort level that especially someone who doesn't do videos, never will do videos, has to reach out to me. No less those of you I've come to know through your videos. And will drop me a question and say, what do you think about this? Because you know that not everything is something that I want to do a online take on, a 15-minute video, something that is that heartfelt to me that I want to share at that length. But it really feels good when you reach out to me and you say, hey, Annie, what do you think about this? So here's some of the Annie, what do you think about this that I got this week. There's been some discussion in various places about the abundance of how-to videos. And the question I was getting from people who directed me to some videos about it was, what do I think about it? That whether we are experienced or we're newbies, we come on YouTube and then we show the world how to do things, become the teacher of all time. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. When we make YouTube videos, we can do it for a couple of reasons. We can do it because there's something we need to satisfy. It's something we enjoy doing. It feeds a need for creativity or sharing or feeling part of. Yeah, we can also be very pontificating and here's how you do something and I'm wise and I know it and this is the way you need to do it. There's all kinds of how-to videos out there. You all know that. My take on them is that if you are subscribed to someone, which means you enjoy their energy, who they are, and have a curiosity about how they do things, whether they are learning and stumbling along and sharing or whether they have some experience, and could still be stumbling along and sharing or have a more sophisticated air, more polish to them. Either way, under any of those circumstances, you're subscribed to somebody because you enjoy them, you enjoy their energy, you enjoy who they are. And learning how they do things or why something's important to them or even just honoring the fact that they want to share, to me that's what it's all about. I love how-to videos. I really do. Yeah, in the back of my priestess mind I go, oh my goodness, do you have any idea why you're doing that? Because I see some empty videos on how-to and I wonder what the result is for the person who's doing it. And then I think, maybe it's not about that. It's about they want to share, they want to be part of, and I'm fine with the how-to videos. Whether someone knows what they speak of or whether not. Because the other extreme of that is the one who knows everything. My thought is if you're subscribed to somebody, you care about them. It's nice to know then how do they do things and to honor that they're sharing with you. Another subject a couple of people had sent me emails on. Those who come online to tell us they have no time. And go into long explanations as to why they didn't do a celebration or they missed the moon or a holiday or why they haven't uploaded recently or it's not the person who occasionally shares with us why they've been absent. It's the one who's constantly telling us why they don't have time in their life. I have to laugh back up because I just loved your video where you said, well then, get off the internet. You don't have time for this either then. You should be doing something with your life that brings more quality to your life than that. And I have to agree with you. Maybe we're spending a little more time than we need, especially if we're bewailing the fact that we do not have time. When I work with somebody face-to-face, a student that finds their way to me, the first time I didn't have the time to do this or that I had sent them off to do, I'm like, did you watch TV this week? What time did you go to bed? Why couldn't you have gone to bed 15 minutes later? Why didn't you get up 15 minutes earlier? All of us have busy lives. The working parents, no more or no less than someone like me. We all have the things that eat up the times of our life, and we make decisions how we prioritize our time. There's things we have to do. There's responsibilities we all have. But outside of that, we choose. We choose what we do with our time. Another topic. Now, this is all over the place for some reason right now. Those who would sell their knowledge, who would sell their expertise, who would charge. I don't have a problem with it. Again, it's an energetic thing to me where if you value someone's expertise, even if it's supposed expertise enough that to you it is worth the exchange of money for what they will share with you, it's an even exchange. But in general, the good people in this community, even those who are selling their art, which I believe is a deeply, deeply spiritual thing, by the way, or selling their knowledge, packaging things that they know and sharing it, but charging for it. In general, in this community, these are good people who are making an offering. And those who watch them decide, is it an offering you want to take advantage of? No, I personally have never paid a penny for anything that I have received in the way of spiritual education. But if you've got a need for that, and someone has a talent and a skill, and you feel respect to them, and the exchange of money for knowledge feels good to you, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with those who have wanted to make a career out of sharing their knowledge and their experience and guiding and mentoring others. You know, there's something really beautiful about if you can do that, you can make yourself available full time to devote yourself to your spiritual calling. If you are the person who is considering purchasing, you are deciding what spiritual value, what meaning the purchase will have to you, and you are making an offering of your money. This is an interesting one that I got. I hadn't thought about it too much, although even amongst some people I truly deeply care about, they will share in their videos that they feel like they've come back to try Wicca again, or they've come back to try paganism again. Some of them have come back to try Christianity again. There's the here again, gone again, back again aspect of what some people share with us here. And I didn't think anything of it on my own because to me, as I've mentioned before, we all have a path we're on. We don't change path. No matter how many times we decide to label our path differently, it's our path. We have been on and will continue to be on the same path our entire life. So I guess sometimes I think, well, it's a rather dramatic announcement that you're back or you're giving it up or you're not this anymore and you dramatically announce, I am no longer this, but now I am this. Yeah, I guess that does catch my attention sometimes. And mostly, though, it's because I realize, well, this is an important statement for the person that's making it, so I want to understand why it's important to them. But the here again, gone again, back again, I'm pagan, I'm not, I'm Christian, I'm not, I'm Wiccan, I'm not. It is interesting. It really is. And if it's seen separate from each of us being on a life's journey that will include many things we will try. The question I got in conjunction with this when people would ask me how I felt about it was, have you ever had doubts? Have you ever felt doubts and wandered away from, in my case, of course, Wicca? Have you wandered away and come back? I came to Wicca because I already had a set of beliefs that were true to me. They were the given. Got to a place where I knew how I felt about many important things spiritually to me. And then I found there was a religion that complemented that. Those things have not changed for me. So I have never felt the need to shift my spirituality, to name it something else. I have been true to Wicca all of the years of my adult life. It doesn't make me any better or worse spiritually than the next person, because what happened to me is it complemented the path I was already on. And if your path is one that's going to take you off on many different directions to explore many different things, I guess the only reaction I have to when videos are going on a bit about I'm back or I'm no longer this, or every now and then there's an attitude because somebody will say something like, well, you know, I'm not Wiccan, but, well, it's fine that you're not Wiccan. You are you on your own perfect, beautiful path. So I only react to it because then I'm curious to know why is it so important to make such a dramatic statement. Aside from that, though, I don't have a problem with someone who is this or that, and the next day is something different. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It's all a part of learning about what's important to them. It's almost like a little heads up to pay attention to them, to see what's going on in their life. Pay attention to what they're going to share then and what they're going to tell you. And one last bit of opinions is whether one can start one's own tradition. several different videos that I saw, and really interesting and good videos on this topic. I take it at a lighter level than some of the videos that I saw. Now, once again, those of you who have been in contact with me, most of you were surprised, you know, how traditional I am, and you're thinking, oh, she's going to have an attitude about this. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to ask Annie what she thinks about those who pander their own tradition of Wicca or any form of paganism. I don't have a problem with it. I don't. Once again, I think it's what is part of the person's path that is at that point where they have found certain things to be true to them, they have found certain ways they like to express things, they want to share, and most importantly, if they're family oriented, they want to pass down. Or in community, they want to share and bring others in. They've found something they love and they cherish, and they want to bring others in with them. As long as they're not calling it by a name which is disrespectful to something which already exists with the same name, yeah, that part of me as a traditionalist has a problem with that. Aside from that, though, starting a tradition. Starting a tradition is like the moment at which you put your feet firmly on the ground and say, from here on out, this is the energy I bring to the world. And the important part of it is, it's the energy I want to share with the world. So yeah, my opinion, even though I'm very traditional myself, isn't about those with a little bit of experience or a lot of experience that decide to establish a way of their own, as long as it is respectful to paths that already exist, and acknowledging that you borrowed from but you are not of them. That moment you plant your feet firmly on the ground and say, I am, and this is what I'm taking forward. To me, the forward action of tradition and the widening action of setting up a tradition, which is sharing with others, making it part of your family life and wanting to pass it down. That's where I think is the beauty of those who want to start a way. They might give it a name and make it purely and distinctly theirs. Beginning a tradition to me comes from a place of knowing. It's almost instinctual. And the setting it up as a tradition is the urge which we humans have. Oh, we have it so deeply. It's why a lot of us are here on YouTube to share, to bring something up out of us and offer it and see who feels the same way and who will join us, who was already there to begin with. Yeah, I would expect it be respectful, not using the name of something which you may not understand or have been totally trained in or have been with spiritually to begin with. We all do our own thing. I just think it's important that we own the way forward, and if someone found a way that works for them and wants to share it with others, I don't have a problem with that. The only time I have a problem is if you've borrowed from other things without acknowledging, you've taken credit for something that's not yours, and I don't think it works. When you set yourself up as the disenfranchised, you have to set yourself on a new path simply out of anger or resentment towards something in your path. It has to be something that rises up beautifully through you, that will become a part of the flow of time. And then to me, there's something beautiful about it. So, when some of you have asked me these questions, some of the ways I've answered them you've expected, because you know me well, and some of my answers have surprised you. I just feel so strongly throughout all of these things that we all do what we feel called to do in this life for many, many reasons. So much of it has to do with our relationships with others and the energy exchange around that. Yeah, we have to be wise in our own way and not be fooled or duped. We need to take our time with these things as with everything in life. But I'd love to see how people do things. I do think if we bewail the fact that we don't have time, then the first thing we need to do is be offline and living our lives separate. If we cannot make healthy time for being online, then we don't need to be online. I believe that when we trust somebody, when we are inspired by them, if we purchase a book or take a course, that there's nothing wrong with that exchange of energy that involves money. I don't think there's a darn thing wrong with being on and off the path, because to me, you've never, any one of us has never taken 1 foot off of our path. Here, it is our path. We aren't on it and off of it. And starting a tradition. taking a moment where you step yourself into the present and put your feet firmly on the ground and acknowledge what you know and what you will take forward and what you would share with others around you. I don't have a problem with that. There's my thoughts on some of the things that have been around in the last couple of weeks. It's a video of opinions. Just one, which is opinion on these things. I wish you all mirth and reverence. Merry part.